Hello, my name is Xander from Terrytown, and welcome to your Salem Cruise Lite 273 QBXL. Just gonna start right up front here with a light, just in case you need to hook up at night. And you have your retract and extend for your power tongue jack here. Since this is electric, just in case this ever electrically goes out, you can go ahead and peel this tab up, pop this little piece out, and you can go ahead and stick a tool inside there and crank it to manually override it up or down. Moving just behind here, you're going to have your two propane tanks. All you gotta do, open one or the other, and it's going to then bring the propane through and go ahead and use it there. It's kind of hard to see, but right back here is gonna be your battery disconnect. All you gotta do is align this little metal piece down here with the hole inside of your battery disconnect. So going along with that, when you cut this off, it cuts the power off from the battery to the inside of your camper. So once again, if you turn it off, it's going to cut the battery off. If you leave it on, then your battery will then reach the inside of your camper. Storage here. And then coming to your sewer system, you're going to have your black tank on your left and your gray tank on your right. Your gray tank is going to be your shower and sink, and then your black tank is going to be your toilet. So going along with the toilet, that means solids come with it. So what you're going to want to do is, I recommend doing the black tank first. So all you got to do is just open the black tank. It's going to sit there and flush, and then some toilet paper might get stuck here and there. So all you got to do, leave that open. Come right back here to your black tank flush. Stick a pressurized hose into there and turn it on. That will then activate a small sprinkler inside the black tank, which helps flush and get anything that may have gotten stuck, kind of help flush it all out. Once you're done with that, go ahead, unplug the hose, close your black tank, and then open your gray tank, and then your gray tank will then flush and kind of give the hose one less so flush before you go ahead and put your hands back on there. Just next to it, camp power or your shore power here. So this is what's going to plug into your campsite to give you power. Moving along to the back side of your camper, right up top on the left here is going to be your ladder prep. It is a walkable roof, so all you got to do is purchase that, then go ahead, clip it on there, extend it, and then you're able to walk up. Otherwise, just underneath it, we went over the black tank flush already. Just to the right of it is going to be your city water connection. So this is what you do when you get to a campground. You plug the campground hose into here. This is going to be your main water supply or water source. So as soon as you plug that in, turn it on, your water will then start to flow through the lines and give your camper running water. Also right up top here, backup camera prep. So if you do decide to purchase a backup camera, that's where that will go. Just along to the other side here is going to be your little outside kitchen area. You have a spray port nozzle. So if you need to wash off dogs, fish, feet, anything in this general area, you can go ahead and do that. Food, spray it off, spray your griddle off, whatever you need to do to help clean, that is there for you. For your griddle, to get gas going to it, just underneath here is going to be, oh, it's right back here. It's hiding. Right back here is going to be your gas LP hose. So all you do is take that, connect it to the hose that comes with your griddle, and then gas or the propane will then slowly start to feed in. Refrigerator, an outlet, and input, just in case you need to put either chargers or a TV right outside. You can do that right there. Here's your low point drains, hot and cold side. These are going to be the two lowest points in your camper, so when you go to empty it for the winter or whatnot, just go ahead, twist those, and then they will then drain. Right here, furnace exhaust. So when your furnace is on, all the heat is going to be kicking out of here. So going along with that, that means that it goes very hot. So if there's any little kids or someone who may not know, just tell them, be careful of touching this because they will get burned. Moving over to your fresh tank. This is just going to be gravity fill. All it is a tank inside your system or inside your camper. So all you got to do with this, let's say you're going to the national park, for example, you can just go ahead, fill this up just outside, and then before you go in, make sure it all works and everything like that. But once you fill it up, you can go inside, and then when you are camping and you need a water source, go ahead and flick the water pump switch on, and the water pump will then suck water from this tank and push it through your lines to give you running water while you're not hooked up to city water connection. If you do have extra water left over, all you gotta do, pull that little handle. That handle will then empty the last of your fresh tank. Moving over to your water heater, right in there is going to be your anode rod. The anode rod protects your tank. It takes a beating from all the hard water, so your tank doesn't have to. So that goes right inside that little hole there. It's already tightened down. It's a 1 1/16 socket. So once that's tightened down, go ahead to the inside of your camper, turn on the hot side of the faucet, and then that is going to sputter. The only reason it's sputtering is because it's just pushing all the air out of the tank that it is moving out of. So once you have a steady flow of water coming out the hot side of your faucet, you can go ahead and turn your water heater on, use it, do what you need to do with it, and then when it comes time to empty it, you just pull this little tab there. It's gonna be the pressure release valve. Go ahead, pull that. It's going to hiss. Once it's done hissing, go ahead and take your socket, pull that back out, and then you will then hold on to your anode rod, or just kind of let it sit right in here, or whatever you need to do. Let that flow out, and then when you're done, there's no more water coming out, flick that back down, and then go ahead and close it back up. Storage on the other side. And then also right up top here is going to be, let's see if you can see it right there. It's just gonna be a little black tab. All you gotta do, that's a manual override spot. So if you need to manually override it, just go ahead, peel that little tab off, insert a 10mm socket, I believe. 10mm socket, insert that, and then when you crank it, that moves it in or out, just in case it ever electrically goes out. Moving to the inside of your camper here, just right up top is going to be your solar charge controller. It's blinking right now because there's no battery hooked up to it, but to switch between amp and volts, you click this button here, and then to switch your battery type, it's going to be right down here. Moving down to your little power panel, this is going to start off with your readers. So you're going to have your battery. There's no battery in there, so it's not going to light up. Fresh tank, black tank, gray tank, and then when you need to, let's say, use your water pump, because you used your fresh tank or you need to use it, go ahead, and all you do is push that switch, and then it'll start to suck the water out. Water heater element, so you just flick that once you have a steady flow of water coming out the hot side of the faucet. And then of course your lights on, off. These ones are going to be the inside lights right there, and then the left one is going to be your awning light. Then you are going to have these two switches here. This one is going to be your awning, which I'm going to see how far I can reel out before I get close to the other one. All right, I'm gonna have to stop right there. But the main thing you need to know is when it is fully extended, you'll see the end of the flap kind of hang down, and then you'll be able to see the black bar just sitting on right behind it. To pitch it for the rain, before you reel it in, just grab here, pull down, and you'll see this side start to bend, and then the water will then flow off of this one side. And then before you reel it in, go ahead, push it right back up and reel it right back in. And now the one on the right is going to be your slide. So I'm just gonna move this in a little bit right now. I'm not gonna do it fully, just so I can kind of show you what it sounds like when it fully extends. You'll hear it kind of die off, and then you can go ahead and let off the switch. Last thing on here is going to be your dimmer switch. So this is going to be your main lights. Tap it, they turn off. Tap, turn back on. Tap and hold, and it slowly starts to dim. Tap and hold once again. It'll start to go right back up. Right here is going to be all of your keys. Purple is going to be main doors and baggage doors, and then these little silver ones are going to be for right on the sink here is going to be your keys. Purple is going to be for your main doors, and then the silver are going to be for your baggage doors. Moving over to the right here. Starting up top, sound bar. You can select your mode, go through it if you want to choose Bluetooth and whatnot. And then of course radio, volume up, down, mute. And then zone 1, inside speakers, zone 2, outside speakers. And then just switch the channels over here. And then tap to turn off. Moving right down is going to be your space heater. Tap to turn on. Just to the left is going to be your time. It goes all up to 9 hours. This is going to be your fan speed, so you can see how it went to low to high. Next to that is going to be flame color, and then next to that is going to be rock color, and then the next one's going to be flame color. Got your microwave here. Pretty self-explanatory. Time. Open, close. Fan it right here. And then for your stove, all I do, press, and turn to release the gas, and then once the gas is on, you spark to the right to ignite. You always want to spark to the right. There's arrows and everything telling you, because if you do turn to the left, it will snap off. Last thing here, for your oven, it's going to be the same. You press, turn to the flame symbol, or the pilot symbol. Then once you see that, you're going to want to start sparking and watch that little silver piece right in the back there. Once you see that starting to ignite, if you see this small flame appear, then go ahead, press, it would be right there, sitting there sparking. Once you see the flame, go ahead and then turn to your desired temperature. For the refrigerator, everything's gonna be right up top. You just twist to select the coolness. Nothing for your freezer. Moving on to your thermostat, just keep tapping this bottom button here and it'll cycle through. So fan settings, AC settings, furnace settings. Then of course up and down arrows for the temperature select. Right down here, it's going to be your carbon monoxide detector. This little green light indicates that it is on. So since it is on, this is going to be drawing power. So when you take it off, make sure your battery disconnects off, and this will finally die. But if it's not, and the battery is on, this little green light will eventually kill your battery after like 3 to 4 days. So if you're not plugged into shore power and just going off a battery, just be careful because this will continuously run. And then moving on into your bathroom here. The main two things you're going to need for your toilet are going to be toilet solution and RV grade toilet paper. The RV grade toilet paper will help kind of break down easier, so you don't have to worry about it clogging your lines. And the solution will help break down solids and smells, so once again, it'll kind of help make sure everything flows and you won't have to replace your sewer system if it ever gets clogged. Otherwise, for your back bunk room, right down here, breakers and fuses, you just tap and then it'll pop out if you hit it hard enough. There we go. The breakers are going to be all labeled just like they would be at a house, and then the fuses are going to be 15s mainly, but otherwise I do recommend bringing some of these along with you. just to be safe. It's just a personal recommendation. You can do what you want to do, but main thing is just make sure you get the right ones and have extras just in case. The main thing we'll go over with the AC portion of it is, I'm just going to give you a brief example. So when people get to a campground, usually they're camping in hotter weather, so it's going to be hot. To cool us down first, you leave these open, turn the AC on, and the AC is just going to dump straight out this little box. Going forward, once it starts to cool down and you need it throughout the bedrooms, go ahead, close these up. And since they are closed, it's all ducted, so it's going to start flowing through the ceiling, start coming out the white pieces here, just to help make sure it gets spread out. And then right in here would be a TV backup location, and then you would have your input and 110 outlets there. And yeah, that is pretty much it for your brief orientation. When you do come in for your in-person, please write down any questions you may have or concerns, anything like that, and then your show-through person will help go over and answer any of those questions for you. Otherwise, this has been your orientation. Enjoy.